Hello and welcome, my friends. This is Lauren, your English teacher, and today I am so excited to guide you through a very special lesson. The title of today's video is 1 Hour Advanced English, Listening for Fluency Speak Like a Native in 2025. This is not just another English practice session. This is a deep, focused, and powerful listening journey that will help you improve your fluency, strengthen your comprehension, and move one step closer to sounding like a confident, natural English speaker. You are here because you want to grow. You want to challenge yourself. You want to listen, understand, and speak English in a way that feels smooth, clear, and native-like. That is exactly what we are going to do together in this lesson. For the next hour, I want you to imagine that I am right there with you, guiding you, speaking directly to you, and giving you the chance to absorb English in a calm but focused way. Before we dive in, let me give you a warm welcome to my channel, Learnify English. This channel is made for learners all around the world who are serious about improving their English. Whether you are studying in your room, commuting on a train, sitting in a coffee shop, or relaxing after a long day, this is your space to practice. This is your moment to learn. Now, I want to ask you for something important. If you are here for the first time, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to Learnify English, and leave a comment down below. Tell me where you are from, how long you have been learning English, and what your goal is for 2025. When you comment, I read it, and it motivates me to keep making lessons for you. And when you subscribe, you join a global family of learners who are all moving forward, step by step, together. So don't just watch quietly, be part of this journey. In today's lesson, we are going to work on advanced English listening. But let me be clear, when I say advanced, I don't mean complicated or impossible. I mean focused, deep, and practical. You may be a beginner, you may be intermediate, or you may already be advanced. Wherever you are right now, this lesson is for you. I will speak at a natural pace, but I will also keep my language clear and structured so that you can follow along. The more you listen, the more your brain will adapt. The more you repeat, the more your tongue will remember the rhythm of English. This is not just about listening quietly. This is about active listening. I want you to repeat after me. I want you to shadow my voice. I want you to close your eyes sometimes and just let the rhythm of English flow into your ears. I want you to open your mouth and speak, even if you are alone. This is the way you train your fluency. Think of this as a workout for your English brain. Here is how we will practice. I will guide you through a variety of themes and topics. Some will be about daily life. Some will be about culture. Some will be about learning itself. Others will be more abstract or reflective. As I speak, you will listen carefully. You will notice the patterns, the stress, the pauses, and the flow. From time to time, I will remind you to repeat after me, to shadow the words, to pause and practice. Remember, listening is not passive. Real fluency comes when listening and speaking connect. The best way to train your ears and your voice is to listen actively and respond. So whenever you hear a sentence you like, don't just let it pass. Catch it, repeat it, and make it yours. Now, why is this so important in 2025? Because the world is more connected than ever. Whether you are studying, working, traveling, or simply exploring the internet, English is the bridge. And when you can speak clearly, when you can understand without struggling, when you can express your ideas naturally, doors open for you, opportunities come your way, confidence grows inside you. That is the goal of this lesson. I want you to stay with me until the very end of this session. The longer you listen, the stronger your brain becomes. 1 hour may feel long, But think about it, if you can spend 1 hour on social media, 1 hour on movies, or 1 hour on games, you can also spend 1 hour training your future. Stay focused, stay patient, and let this time be an investment in yourself. Now, let's set the mood. Find a comfortable space. If you are sitting, relax your shoulders. If you are standing, stand tall. Take a deep breath with me. Inhale slowly and exhale slowly. Let your mind clear. Let your ears open. You are ready to begin. As we move forward, I want you to notice something very important. English is not just words. English is rhythm. English is music. English is sound flowing through time. When you listen to me, don't only pay attention to the vocabulary, pay attention to the way the words connect, the way the voice rises and falls, the way certain sounds stretch and others cut short. That is the secret to sounding natural. For example, listen carefully. I want you to listen carefully. Do you hear how the words connect? I don't say each word separately, like a robot. I don't say, I want you to listen carefully. Instead, the sounds blend. I want you to listen carefully. This connection is called linking. Linking is what makes English flow. Linking is what makes a native speaker sound smooth. And linking is what we will practice throughout this lesson. Now let's try it together. I will say the sentence slowly, and then more naturally. First, slowly. I want you to listen carefully. Now, naturally. I want you to listen carefully. Did you notice the difference? Good. Now it's your turn. Repeat after me. I want you to listen carefully. Excellent. This is how we will practice step by step, listening, repeating, and absorbing the rhythm. As we continue, I will give you more examples, more sentences, and more chances to shadow my voice. So let me ask you again, are you ready to commit to this hour? Are you ready to push yourself? Are you ready to take one more step toward fluency, toward confidence, toward sounding like a native speaker in 2025? If your answer is yes, then stay with me. Don't just listen halfway. Don't give up after 10 minutes. Give yourself the gift of full immersion. This is Lauren, your teacher, and I am here for you. Together, we are going to practice. Together, we are going to improve. And together, we are going to make English not just something you study, but something you live. Now, let's begin our journey into deep, advanced English listening practice. As we continue, I want you to think of this session as more than just listening. Think of it as training your ear and your mouth to work together. When you listen carefully and then repeat, you are building strong connections in your brain. Those connections will make English flow more naturally from you when you speak in real life. Let's begin with rhythm. Rhythm is the heartbeat of English. Every language has its own rhythm, its own music. English is a stress-timed language, which means some words are stronger, louder, and longer, while other words are weaker and shorter. If you pay attention, you will notice that native speakers don't give equal weight to every word. Some words are stressed, and others almost disappear. For example, listen carefully. I'm going to the store. Which words do you hear clearly? Going and store. Those are the strong beats. The other words, I'm, to, and the, are weaker, so the rhythm sounds like this. I'm going to the store. That rhythm is what makes English sound natural. Now, I want you to practice with me. First, repeat slowly after me. I'm going to the store. Good. Now let's try it with natural rhythm. I'm going to the store. Excellent. Try it again. Let your voice rise slightly on going and store. This rise and fall creates the music of English. Here's another sentence. She's waiting for the bus. Again, notice the rhythm. Which words are strong? Waiting and bus. The other words are weak, so the natural rhythm is She's waiting for the bus. Now repeat after me. She's waiting for the bus. Very good. I want you to continue practicing this way throughout our session. Every time you hear me emphasize certain words, repeat them with me. Feel the stress, the length, the beat. This is how you train your ear and your voice together. Now let's add shadowing. Shadowing means you listen and speak at the same time, almost like an echo. Don't wait until I finish the sentence. Try to follow along as I speak. This is difficult at first, but with practice, it becomes easier, and it forces your brain to react quickly in English. Let's try a short shadowing exercise. I will say a simple phrase. Your job is to repeat immediately, without pausing. Ready? I can do this. I believe in myself. English is part of my life. I'm learning every day. Good. Keep going with me. Don't stop, even if you miss a word. Just keep moving forward. Fluency comes with practice. Listening helps me grow. I'm not afraid of mistakes. I can speak like a native. Excellent. How did that feel? Maybe a little fast. Maybe a little challenging. That's good. Remember, shadowing is not about being perfect. It's about training your brain to respond in real time. Over time, you will notice that your reaction speed in English improves. Now, let's increase the length of the sentences. Every day, I become more confident in my English. I know that practice is the key to fluency. I listen carefully and repeat with focus. I am building strong habits for success. Take a deep breath. How are you feeling? If you're a little tired, that's normal. Your brain is working hard. But this is the kind of training that leads to results. Let's pause for a moment to reflect. I want you to ask yourself, how do I usually listen to English? Do I listen passively, like when watching a movie or a series? Or do I listen actively, with focus and practice? Both are useful, but active listening is what truly builds fluency. Passive listening is like background noise. Active listening is like exercise. It makes you stronger. That's why I encourage you to stay with me until the end of this session. This is your practice time. This is your training ground. And remember, every time you repeat after me, every time you shadow my words, you are getting closer to your goal. Now, let's continue with some real-life expressions. These are sentences you might hear in everyday conversations. I will say them naturally. You will repeat them, paying attention to rhythm and stress. Ready? Could you give me a hand? Do you know what I mean? I'll call you back later. Let's grab something to eat. That sounds like a great idea. Did you notice the flow? In, could you give me a hand? The words could you connect and sound like could ya. In, I'll call you back later. The I will contracts to I'll. These little details make English sound smooth. Now let's try shadowing again. I will read the sentences at a natural speed. You follow along instantly, like an echo. Could you give me a hand? Do you know what I mean? I'll call you back later. Let's grab something to eat. That sounds like a great idea. How was that? You might notice your tongue working harder, your mouth moving in new ways. That's exactly what we want. Fluency is not just in your head, it's in your muscles. Your tongue, your lips, your breath, they all need training. Let's do a rhythm drill now. I will give you short patterns to repeat. Focus only on stress and beat, not meaning. Ta da ta da ta. Da 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 da. Ta tia ta tia ta. Now let's use real words with the same rhythm. I'm going to the store. She's waiting for the bus. We're thinking of the plan. Excellent. By practicing rhythm, you are tuning your ear to the natural music of English. Before we end this section, I want to remind you of something important. Don't just listen silently. Speak, repeat, shadow. Practice out loud. Your progress will be 10 times faster if you use your voice. Even if you feel shy, even if nobody is around, let yourself practice. This is your time. And remember, if you are enjoying this session, show your support. Like the video, subscribe to Learnify English, and leave a comment sharing your favorite sentence so far. When you interact, you not only help this channel grow, but you also make your learning more active and memorable. Take a deep breath. You are doing great. We've just begun, but already you are training your ears, your voice, and your rhythm. Stay with me, because we are only going deeper from here. As we move forward, I want to remind you of something powerful. Vocabulary is not just about knowing words. Vocabulary is about using words in real situations, hearing them in natural contexts, and feeling how they flow in a sentence. That's why in this section, we will focus on advanced but practical vocabulary, words and expressions that real people use every single day. Now, when I say advanced, don't be afraid. Advanced vocabulary does not mean difficult or confusing. It means vocabulary that adds depth, precision, and richness to your English. You may already know the simple words, like good, bad, big, small, but advanced learners go beyond that. They use words like excellent, terrible, enormous, tiny. They use expressions that feel natural, not robotic. So, let's train your ear and your tongue with some vocabulary in context. I'll give you a word or phrase, then I'll use it in a sentence. I want you to listen carefully. Repeat after me, and pay attention to rhythm and pronunciation. Let's begin. The first word is remarkable. It means something unusual, special, or worthy of attention. Sentence. Her progress in English has been remarkable. Now repeat. Her progress in English has been remarkable. One more time. Her progress in English has been remarkable. Good. Did you notice the stress? Remarkable. The strong beat is on the second syllable. The next word is challenge. This means something difficult, but also something that helps you grow. Sentence. Learning English is a challenge, but I enjoy it. Repeat after me. Learning English is a challenge, but I enjoy it. Again. Learning English is a challenge, but I enjoy it. Excellent! The stress is on the first syllable. Challenge. Now, let's add a phrase. Step out of your comfort zone. This means to do something new, something that feels uncomfortable at first, but helps you grow. Sentence. To improve your fluency, you must step out of your comfort zone. Repeat. To improve your fluency, you must step out of your comfort zone. Again. To improve your fluency, you must step out of your comfort zone. Do you feel how natural that phrase sounds? That's what advanced learners use. Let's continue with confidence. This is one of my favorite words. Confidence is the belief in yourself, the trust that you can do something. Sentence. With daily practice, your confidence will grow. Repeat. With daily practice, your confidence will grow. Again. With daily practice, your confidence will grow. Now let's do some shadowing practice with these words and phrases. I will read naturally. Your job is to echo me instantly. Don't wait. Just follow. Ready? Her progress has been remarkable. Learning English is a challenge, but I enjoy it. You must step out of your comfort zone. With daily practice, your confidence will grow. How was that? Keep going. If you stumble, don't worry. Just keep speaking. The rhythm will come with practice. Now, let's expand the practice with a short listening drill. I'll read a short paragraph, and then I'll break it down. You will shadow me as I read. Ready? Learning a new language is always a challenge. At first, you might feel nervous or shy, but with time, your confidence will increase. Every time you step out of your comfort zone, you grow stronger, and the progress you make will be truly remarkable. Now, let's shadow together. I'll read again. Naturally. Follow me instantly. Learning a new language is always a challenge. At first, you might feel nervous or shy, but with time, your confidence will increase. Every time you step out of your comfort zone, you grow stronger, and the progress you make will be truly remarkable. Excellent work! Do you notice how these words come alive when used in a real paragraph? That's the key. Vocabulary is not just a list, it is living language. Now let's move to some more advanced but very practical words. The next word is perspective. This means a point of view, the way you see or think about something. Sentence. Traveling to new countries gives you a fresh perspective. Repeat. Traveling to new countries gives you a fresh perspective. Another useful word is motivation. This is the reason why you do something. Sentence. Your motivation will keep you practicing, even when it feels hard. Repeat. Your motivation will keep you practicing, even when it feels hard. Next is opportunity. This means a chance to do something. Sentence. Speaking English fluently opens up many opportunities. Repeat. Speaking English fluently opens up many opportunities. And finally, let's practice achievement. This means something you succeed in doing after effort. Sentence. Reaching fluency in English is a great achievement. Repeat. Reaching fluency in English is a great achievement. Good? Now, let's put these words into another listening drill. Your motivation to learn English gives you power. Every opportunity you take to practice builds your confidence. Over time, your perspective changes, and you see progress differently. Finally, when you reach your goal, that achievement will stay with you forever. Now shadow with me, sentence by sentence. Your motivation to learn English gives you power. Every opportunity you take to practice builds your confidence. Over time, your perspective changes, and you see progress differently. Finally, when you reach your goal, that achievement will stay with you forever. Excellent! This is how you train advanced vocabulary, not by memorizing, but by listening, repeating, and using it in context. Before we finish this section, let me give you a tip. When you hear a new word, don't just write it down. Say it out loud. Repeat it in a sentence. Use it in your daily life. If you learn the word remarkable, don't just know the definition. Say, "Today was a remarkable day," or "That book was remarkable." This makes the word real for you. And remember, practice with me out loud. Don't let these words stay in your head only. Your goal is fluency, and fluency lives in your voice. If you are enjoying this lesson so far, let me know in the comments. Tell me which new word you like the most. Remarkable, confidence, perspective, or achievement. When you share, you make the learning stronger for yourself, and you also encourage other learners who are reading. Take another deep breath. Relax your shoulders. You are doing excellent work. Step by step, you are building not only your vocabulary, but also your listening skills, your rhythm, and your fluency. Keep going. Stay with me. The best practice is still ahead. Now that you've practiced rhythm, shadowing, and some advanced vocabulary, let's go deeper into one of the most important aspects of fluency: connected speech. Connected speech is the way English speakers link words together in real conversation. It's what makes English sound fast, smooth, and sometimes difficult to understand. But once you learn the patterns, you will notice them everywhere, and your listening and speaking will improve dramatically. Think about this. When we learn English in school, we often learn each word separately. We say, "What are you doing?" Each word is clear, but in real life, native speakers don't talk like that. They connect words, reduce sounds, and blend everything together. So, "What are you doing?" becomes "What you doing?" Let's practice. Listen carefully. First, I'll say the slow, clear version. "What are you doing?" Now, the natural version. "What you doing?" Repeat with me. "What you doing?" Again. "What you doing?" Do you hear how smooth that sounds? This is connected speech. Let's try another one. "Did you eat yet?" In slow English, you hear each word. Did you eat yet? But in natural English, it becomes did you eat yet? Now repeat. Did you eat yet? Again. Did you eat yet? Excellent. This blending happens all the time in real conversations. That's why learners sometimes feel confused. They're listening for separate words. But native speakers are speaking in connected phrases. Here's another example. I want to go slowly. I want to go. Naturally, I want to go. Repeat after me. I want to go. Again, I want to go. Now, one more. I'm going to call her. Slowly, I'm going to call her. Naturally, I'm going to call her. Repeat. I'm going to call her. Again, I'm going to call her. Do you see the pattern? Words change their shape when they connect. To often becomes ta or na. You often becomes ya or ja. Her can become These changes are not sloppy. They are natural. They are part of fluent English. Now, let's practice a short conversation in connected speech. I'll read it slowly first, then naturally. You repeat both ways. Slow. What are you going to do later? I don't know. Maybe I'll watch a movie. Which one do you want to see? Let's see what's playing tonight. Natural. What you gonna do later? Dunno. Maybe I'll watch a movie. Which one do you want to see? Let's see what's playing tonight. Now shadow with me at natural speed. Ready? What you gonna do later? Dunno. Maybe I'll watch a movie. Which one do you want to see? Let's see what's playing tonight. How was that? A little fast. That's okay. The goal is not perfection on the first try. The goal is training your ear to recognize these patterns and training your mouth to imitate them. Let's slow down and look at some rules of connected speech. Rule 1. Contractions. We use contractions all the time. Instead of I am, we say I'm. Instead of they are, we say they're. Instead of it is, we say it's. Repeat after me. I'm happy. They're ready. It's raining. Contractions make speech smoother and more natural. Rule 2. Linking sounds. When one word ends with a consonant and the next word begins with a vowel, we link them. For example, turn off sounds like turn off. Repeat. Turn off. Another one. Pick it up. Naturally. Pick it up. Repeat. Pick it up. Rule 3. Reduction of small words. Words like to, for, of, and often reduce. To becomes ta or ne, for becomes for, of becomes you have or just a, and often becomes an. Examples. I want to go. I want to go. Looking for you. Looking for you. A cup of tea. A cup, tea. Bread and butter. Bread and butter. Repeat each one with me naturally. I want to go. Looking for you. A cup, tea. Bread and butter. Excellent. Rule 4. Dropping sounds. Sometimes sounds disappear. For example, next day sounds like next day. The T is dropped. Or friendship sounds like friendship. The D disappears. This happens naturally in fast speech. Let's practice. Next day. Next day. Friendship. Friendship. Handbag. Humbug. Repeat after me. Next day. Friendship. Humbug. Very good. Now, let's put these rules together in a short listening drill. I'll read a short paragraph slowly. Then naturally, you shadow with me. Slow. I want to tell you about my friend. She is going to visit me tomorrow. We are going to watch a movie and eat dinner together. It will be fun. Natural. I want to tell you about my friend. She's going to visit me tomorrow. We're gonna watch a movie and eat dinner together. It'll be fun. Now shadow with me naturally. I want to tell you about my friend. She's gonna visit me tomorrow. We're gonna watch a movie and eat dinner together. It'll be fun. Excellent. That's the sound of real English. Let's take a moment to reflect. If you only study English from textbooks, you may know the grammar, but you will struggle with listening and fluency. Why? Because textbooks show words clearly, but real people connect and reduce them. That's why you must train with connected speech. This doesn't mean you should speak lazily. It means you should adapt to natural rhythm. When you listen, expect words to connect. When you speak, allow your words to flow together. That's the key to sounding fluent. Before we finish this section, let's do one more shadowing exercise with everyday expressions. What you up to? Not much. Just relaxin'. Wanna grab some coffee? Yeah, sounds good. Now at natural speed. What you up to? Not much. Just relaxin'. Wanna grab some coffee? Yeah, sounds good. Great job. You are now listening to English as it is truly spoken and practicing how to speak it yourself. This is a major step toward fluency. Remember, stay engaged. Don't just watch passively. Like this video, subscribe to Learnify English, and share your thoughts in the comments. Tell me, which connected speech phrase surprised you the most? Was it what you doing? Or, I'm gonna call her, your answer helps me know what to teach you next. Take a deep breath. You're doing fantastic. Connected speech may seem strange at first, but with practice, it will become natural. And once you master it, your listening will be sharper, and your speaking will sound smoother than ever. Now that you've practiced rhythm, shadowing, connected speech, and intonation, it's time to apply these skills in real-life listening. English in textbooks often sounds slow, clear, and easy, but real conversations are fast, messy, and full of reductions. People interrupt each other, they change topics quickly, and sometimes they don't even finish their sentences. If you want to speak like a native in 2025, you also need to listen like a native. So in this part, I will guide you through listening practice that mirrors everyday life. We'll cover 3 common situations: phone calls, meetings, and casual conversations. As you listen, don't worry about understanding every single word. Instead, focus on the main idea, tone, and keywords. This is what fluent listeners do. Let's begin with phone calls. Phone calls are one of the hardest listening situations because you can't see the other person's face. No body language, no lip reading, only sound. That means you must rely fully on listening. Here's a short phone call. Hi, this is Sarah. I'm just calling to check if you're coming to the meeting tomorrow at 10. Hey, Sarah. Yes, I'll be there. Do we still need to bring the reports? Yes. Please, don't forget to print them out. Got it. See you tomorrow. Now, let's break it down. What's the main idea? Sarah is checking if the other person will attend the meeting and reminding them to bring reports. Simple. Notice the features. Short sentences, fast confirmations like got it, everyday expressions. I'm just calling to check. Don't forget. See you tomorrow. Now shadow this call with me, one line at a time. Hi, this is Sarah. I'm just calling to check if you're coming to the meeting tomorrow at 10. Hey, Sarah. Yes, I'll be there. Do we still need to bring the reports? Yes. Please, don't forget to print them out. Got it. See you tomorrow. Good. Did you notice how casual but clear the tone is? Phone calls often use a friendly but efficient style. Let's practice another one. Listen first. Hi, is this Mr. Roberts? Yes. Speaking. This is Anna from the clinic. I'm calling to remind you about your appointment tomorrow at 3. Oh, thank you for the reminder. I'll be there. Great. Have a nice day. What's the main idea? A reminder call about an appointment. Again. Simple. Now repeat after me, line by line. Hi, is this Mr. Roberts? Yes. Speaking. This is Anna from the clinic. I'm calling to remind you about your appointment tomorrow at 3. Oh, thank you for the reminder. I'll be there. Great. Have a nice day. Excellent. You are practicing real English, not just textbook English. Now, let's move to meetings. Meetings often involve formal language, polite interruptions, and clear agreement or disagreement. Here's a short example. Let's begin the meeting. Today we'll review the sales numbers for August. Sure. I have the report here. Overall, sales increased by 12%. That's great news. Do you think this trend will continue? Yes, but we should also prepare for seasonal changes. Main idea. They're discussing sales results and planning ahead. Now shadow it with me. Let's begin the meeting. Today we'll review the sales numbers for August. Sure? I have the report here. Overall, sales increased by 12%. That's great news. Do you think this trend will continue? Yes, but we should also prepare for seasonal changes. Notice the polite phrases. Let's begin. That's great news. Do you think these are common in meetings? Now another example, slightly less formal. Before we finish, does anyone have updates? Yes. I'd like to mention that the new website is almost ready. Perfect. Can we launch it next week? Yes. That's the plan. Now repeat. Before we finish, does anyone have updates? Yes. I'd like to mention that the new website is almost ready. Perfect. Can we launch it next week? Yes. That's the plan. Good. This is how meetings flow short. Direct exchanges. Polite but purposeful. Now let's move to casual conversations. These are the most common in daily life. Chatting with friends, coworkers, or neighbors. Casual speech is full of reductions and informal expressions. Listen to this. Hey, what's up? Not much. Just finishing some work. You, same here. Can't wait for the weekend. Yeah, me too. Any plans? Maybe go hiking if the weather's nice. Main idea. Two people chatting about their day and weekend plans. Now shadow it. Line by line. Hey, what's up? Not much. Just finishing some work. You. Same here. Can't wait for the weekend. Yeah, me too. Any plans? Maybe go hiking if the weather's nice. Notice the expressions. What's up? Not much. Same here. Me too. These are casual, natural, and very common. Now another one. Long day. Yeah, pretty busy. I had back-to-back meetings. Wow, you must be exhausted. Totally. I just want to relax. Repeat. Long day. Yeah, pretty busy. I had back-to-back meetings. Wow, you must be exhausted. Totally. I just want to relax. These short exchanges are the heart of real English. Practice them often. Now let's tie it together. Listening in real life means don't focus on every single word. Listen for key phrases and tone. Expect reductions and fast responses. Train your ear with phone calls, meetings, and casual conversations. If you practice these regularly, you will understand more, respond faster, and sound more fluent. And remember, fluency is not just speaking. Fluency is listening, understanding, and responding naturally. So, keep listening. Keep shadowing. Stay with me. You are building the skills that will make you sound native-like, confident, and ready for any situation. By now, you've practiced listening in daily life phone calls, meetings, and casual conversations. That's essential. But to truly reach fluency, you also need to train your ear for high-level English input. This means news broadcasts, podcasts, and academic lectures. These are faster, more complex, and packed with information. At first, this can feel overwhelming, but don't worry, I'll guide you through it step by step. The key is not to catch every single word, but to understand structure, keywords, and tone. Let's begin with news listening. News is usually formal, but delivered quickly. It often follows a clear structure: headline, details, Background. Then commentary. Here's a short example. Global markets rose today after new economic data showed stronger than expected growth. Analysts say the recovery is driven by increased consumer spending and government investment. However, some experts warn that inflation could remain a challenge. Now, what's the main idea? Markets rose because of good economic data, but inflation may still be a problem. That's it. Did you notice the structure? First, the headline, Global Markets Rose Today. Then, details, driven by increased consumer spending and government investment. Finally, commentary, inflation could remain a challenge. Now, shadow with me. Global markets rose today after new economic data showed stronger than expected growth. Analysts say the recovery is driven by increased consumer spending and government investment. However, some experts warn that inflation could remain a challenge. Good. Notice the rhythm. News anchors speak clearly, but quickly, with strong stress on keywords like markets, growth, spending, investment, inflation. Here's another example. More casual news style. Scientists in Australia have discovered a new species of spider that can survive underwater for up to 30 minutes. The spider creates a bubble of air around its body, allowing it to breathe while submerged. Experts say this finding could lead to new insights into animal adaptation. Main idea: a new spider species that survives underwater using air bubbles. Now shadow with me, slowly. Scientists in Australia have discovered a new species of spider that can survive underwater for up to 30 minutes. The spider creates a bubble of air around its body, allowing it to breathe while submerged. Experts say this finding could lead to new insights into animal adaptation. Excellent. With news, don't panic if you miss a detail. Focus on the headline and main facts. That's what listeners do, even in their native language. Now, let's move to podcasts. Podcasts are usually less formal, more conversational, but still advanced because speakers talk naturally fast, with personal opinions, stories, and sometimes humor. Here's a short sample. So today we're talking about productivity hacks. One thing that really works for me is the 2-minute rule. If something takes less than 2 minutes, I just do it immediately instead of writing it down. Honestly, it saves me so much mental energy. Main idea: the speaker shares a productivity hack. The 2-minute rule. Now shadow. So today we're talking about productivity hacks. One thing that really works for me is the 2-minute rule. If something takes less than 2 minutes, I just do it immediately instead of writing it down. Honestly, it saves me so much mental energy. Podcasts are great for fluency practice because they combine clear ideas with natural speech. You'll hear fillers like so, actually, honestly, you know. And that's important to learn. Another short podcast example. Traveling alone can be intimidating, but it's also one of the best ways to learn about yourself. When you're by yourself, you have to make decisions, solve problems, and push yourself out of your comfort zone. It's not always easy, but it's worth it. Main idea: solo travel builds independence and self-discovery. Now repeat with me. Traveling alone can be intimidating, but it's also one of the best ways to learn about yourself. When you're by yourself, you have to make decisions, solve problems, and push yourself out of your comfort zone. It's not always easy, but it's worth it. Notice how the tone here is more personal and reflective. That's the difference between podcasts and news. News is about facts. Podcasts are about ideas and opinions. Now, let's go to academic English. This is the most challenging because academic lectures are dense, technical, and sometimes abstract. Professors use advanced vocabulary and complex structures, but there's always a pattern. They introduce a topic, explain it, give examples, and conclude. Here's a short academic-style passage. Today we will discuss the concept of renewable energy. Renewable energy refers to power generated from sources that naturally replenish, such as sunlight, wind, and water. Unlike fossil fuels, these resources are sustainable and have a lower environmental impact. However, challenges include cost, storage, and infrastructure. Main idea. Renewable energy is sustainable but has challenges. Now shadow, slowly. Today we will discuss the concept of renewable energy. Renewable energy refers to power generated from sources that naturally replenish, such as sunlight, wind, and water. Unlike fossil fuels, these resources are sustainable and have a lower environmental impact. However, challenges include cost, storage, and infrastructure. Good. That's academic listening structured, formal, full of information. Let's do another example. In psychology, the term growth mindset describes the belief that intelligence and abilities can be developed through effort and learning. Studies show that individuals with a growth mindset are more resilient, motivated, and likely to achieve success compared to those with a fixed mindset. Main idea. Growth mindset leads to resilience and success. Now repeat after me. In psychology, the term growth mindset describes the belief that intelligence and abilities can be developed through effort and learning. Studies show that individuals with a growth mindset are more resilient, motivated, and likely to achieve success compared to those with a fixed mindset. Excellent! You are now training your brain for academic level listening. Let's summarize. To master advanced listening, for news, focus on headlines and keywords. For podcasts, listen for opinions, stories, and natural flow. For academic English, look for structure, definitions, and examples. Don't worry about every detail. Listen for big meaning. That's what makes you fluent. The more you expose yourself to these styles, the stronger your listening muscle becomes. So, practice daily. Shadow news reports, listen to podcasts, and watch lectures. Stay with me until the end, because every part of this lesson builds your fluency step by step. That completes part 7, about 960 words. Would you like me to continue with part 8, where we'll focus on pronunciation drills and advanced sound practice, helping learners polish their accent and sound even closer to native speakers? Banjanoi. 8. ChatGPT Janoi. Perfect, let's continue into part 8. Here we'll work on pronunciation drills and advanced sound practice. This is where learners polish their accent, improve clarity, and sound much closer to native speakers. I'll keep it teacher monologue style. Immersive, around 901,000 words. Part 8. Pronunciation drills and advanced sound practice. By now, you've practiced rhythm, intonation, connected speech, and advanced listening. But fluency also depends on pronunciation, the physical act of shaping sounds with your mouth, tongue, and voice. Many learners think pronunciation means no accent, but that's not true. You don't need to erase your accent. What you need is clarity. The goal is to be understood easily and to sound natural when speaking. In this part, I'll guide you through advanced pronunciation drills. These are the same techniques actors, broadcasters, and even language coaches use. So get ready to move your mouth, stretch your voice, and really practice. Let's start with individual sounds that cause the most problems for learners. First, the TH sounds in English. There are 2 types, voiced and voiceless. Voiceless, the as in think, thought. Thanks. To make it, place your tongue lightly between your teeth and push air out. Repeat with me. Think, thought. Thanks. Voiced, as in this, that, those, here. The tongue is in the same place, but your voice vibrates. Repeat. This, that, those. Now practice both together. Think about this. Those are the things I thought of. Excellent. That's clarity. Next, the R and L sounds. In many languages, these are similar, but in English, they are very different. For L, the tip of your tongue touches the top of your mouth, just behind your teeth. Repeat. Light, love, little. For R, your tongue does not touch the top of your mouth. Instead, it curls slightly back, and your lips round. Repeat. Right, run, really. Now contrast them. Light right, love run, little, really, great. This takes practice, but it's powerful for sounding natural. Now, let's work on vowel clarity. English has many vowel sounds, and small differences change meaning. Repeat these minimal pairs with me. Ship sheep, bit beat, fool fool, at hot, caught cut, good. Stretch your mouth for the long vowels and keep it short for the short vowels. Now let's practice word stress. Remember, every English word has one stressed syllable, and if you stress the wrong one, it sounds strange. Listen. Photograph, stress on second syllable. Photographer, stress on first. Photographic, stress on third. See how stress changes with different forms. Repeat with me. Photograph, photographer, photographic. Excellent. Stress is key. Without it, even correct sounds don't feel natural. Now let's do a sentence stress drill. I need to buy a new computer. Which words are stressed? Native speakers stress need. Buy, new, computer. The rest is softer. Listen again. I need to buy a new computer. Now repeat. I need to buy a new computer. Perfect. This makes your speech natural and clear. Now, let's move into connected speech drills for fluency. Listen. Did you eat yet? Sounds like do you eat yet? What are you doing? What you doing? I want to go. I want to go. Repeat after me. Do you eat yet? What you doing? I want to go. Excellent. You are now speaking faster and smoother. Let's also work on intonation with pronunciation. Listen. I can do it. Flat, are bored. I can do it. Rising. Uncertain. I can do it. Falling, hashtuck, confident. Now repeat each version, feeling the change in emotion. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. See? Same words. Different feeling. That's natural speech. Now, let's push further with tongue twisters. These are excellent pronunciation workouts. Go slowly, then speed up. Repeat with me. She sells seashells by the seashore. Red leather, yellow leather. Truly rural. 33 thieves thought that they thrilled the throne throughout Thursday. Good. Don't worry if you stumble. That's normal. The goal is to stretch your mouth and strengthen your muscle memory. Now, let's practice a shadowing paragraph focused on clarity and flow. Repeat after me. Clear pronunciation helps you connect with others. It is not about sounding perfect or losing your accent. It is about making your message easy to understand. The more you practice, the more confident and fluent you will feel. Now shadow again, more smoothly. Clear pronunciation helps you connect with others. It is not about sounding perfect or losing your accent. It is about making your message easy to understand. The more you practice, the more confident and fluent you will feel. Excellent. Let's now try a drill for linking and natural speed. Repeat. Can I help you? Can I help you? Do you want to join us? Do you want to join us? I'll meet you at the station. I'll meet you at the station. Now practice faster. Can I help you? Do you want to join us? I'll meet you at the station. Perfect. This is exactly how native speakers sound. Finally, let's do one more intonation practice paragraph. Shadow after me. English is not just words. It is rhythm, stress, and melody. When you speak with natural intonation, people pay attention, your voice becomes more powerful, and your message becomes clear. Repeat again, smoothly and confidently. English is not just words, it is rhythm, stress, and melody. When you speak with natural intonation, people pay attention, your voice becomes more powerful, and your message becomes clear. Excellent work! Remember, pronunciation is a daily habit. Even 5 minutes of drills each day will transform the way you sound. Focus on clarity, stress, and connected speech. The more you practice, the more native-like your English will become. Stay with me. You're doing great. We are building fluency step by step. Fluency is not just about grammar and pronunciation. To speak and understand English at a high level, you need vocabulary, but not just big words. You need the right words, in the right context. Many learners make a mistake. They memorize long lists of difficult words, but they cannot use them naturally in conversation. Advanced vocabulary is powerful only when you can apply it, when you can choose the right word at the right time. In this part, I'll guide you through strategies to learn advanced vocabulary effectively, and we'll practice with real examples so you can start using these words immediately. Let's begin with word families. In English, many words come in families, different forms built from the same root. For example, decide, decision, decisive, indecisive, create, creation, creative, creativity, inform, information, informative, misinformation. When you learn words this way, you expand your vocabulary much faster. Instead of learning just one word, you learn 4 or 5 connected ones. Now repeat with me. Decide, decision, decisive, indecisive, create, creation, creative, creativity, inform, information, informative, misinformation. Good. See how one root gives you a whole set of tools. Next, let's look at collocations. Collocations are words that naturally go together. Native speakers don't just say "make progress" randomly, they say it because it's the natural combination. Listen and repeat. Make progress. Take responsibility. Give a presentation. Raise awareness. Reach a conclusion. These sound natural. If you say do progress or take a presentation, it sounds wrong. That's why collocations are key. Let's practice in sentences. Repeat after me. I want to make progress in my English this year. She took responsibility for the mistake. He gave a presentation at the conference. The campaign raised awareness about climate change. We finally reached a conclusion after hours of discussion. Excellent! You are learning advanced words in natural combinations. Now, let's explore academic vocabulary. These are words often used in formal settings like essays, reports, and professional discussions. Repeat after me. Analyze, demonstrate, illustrate, significant, impact. Now in sentences, the scientist analyzed the data carefully. The results demonstrate the importance of teamwork. The graph illustrates the company's growth. There was a significant improvement in performance. The new policy had a major impact on education. Good. Notice how these words give strength and precision to your speech. Now let's practice synonyms for variety. Instead of always saying good, you can say excellent, outstanding, remarkable, impressive. Instead of always saying bad, you can say terrible, awful, disappointing, unfortunate. Instead of always saying important, you can say crucial, vital, essential, significant. Now repeat with me. Excellent, outstanding, remarkable, impressive, terrible, awful, disappointing, unfortunate, crucial, vital, essential, significant. Now let's use them in sentences. The presentation was outstanding. The weather was terrible yesterday. This decision is crucial for our success. Excellent. Variety makes your English more advanced and engaging. Next, let's focus on phrases for fluent speech. Advanced speakers don't just use single words, they use expressions. Repeat after me. At the end of the day, to be honest, as far as I'm concerned, the fact of the matter is, more often than not, now in sentences, at the end of the day, we all want the same thing. To be honest, I didn't enjoy the movie. As far as I'm concerned, that's the best option. The fact of the matter is, we don't have enough time. More often than not, people underestimate the challenge. Good. These are the phrases that make you sound natural in real conversations. Now let's talk about contextual learning. If you just memorize a word from a list, you'll forget it quickly. But if you learn a word inside a real sentence or story, your brain remembers it. For example, instead of learning the word resilient alone, learn it in context. After losing his job, he remained resilient and started his own business. Repeat. He remained resilient and started his own business. Now, resilient has meaning you understand not just the word, but the situation. Another example, inevitable. It was inevitable that technology would change the way we work. Repeat. It was inevitable that technology would change the way we work. Now, inevitable means something that cannot be avoided. One more. Meticulous. She is meticulous about details when preparing her reports. Repeat. She is meticulous about details when preparing her reports. Perfect. That's how you build vocabulary that sticks. Now, let's practice a shadowing paragraph with advanced vocabulary. Listen first. Then repeat after me. Successful learners are resilient. They know that mistakes are inevitable, but they remain motivated. They are meticulous about practice, and they take every opportunity to improve. At the end of the day, their persistence leads to remarkable progress. Now shadow line by line. Successful learners are resilient. They know that mistakes are inevitable, but they remain motivated. They are meticulous about practice, and they take every opportunity to improve. At the end of the day, their persistence leads to remarkable progress. Excellent! You are using advanced vocabulary in natural, meaningful sentences. To review, advanced vocabulary comes from learning word families, practicing collocations, using academic vocabulary, expanding synonyms, speaking with phrases and expressions, learning in context. Don't just memorize words, live with them, speak them, use them in sentences. That's how you become fluent and natural in English. Stay with me, because every part of this journey makes your English more powerful, expressive, and confident. That completes Part 9 about 960 words. Would you like me to continue with Part 10, where we'll focus on listening and speaking for storytelling so learners can tell stories, hold attention, and sound truly native-like? Banja noi. Tin. ChatGPT Janoi. Perfect, let's continue with Part 10. This section will focus on storytelling skills in English, which is one of the most powerful ways to sound fluent and natural. I'll keep it flowing like a teacher's podcast monologue, around 1,000 words. Part 10. Storytelling for Fluency. Fluent English is not only about grammar, vocabulary, or pronunciation. It is also about how you connect ideas, how you share experiences, and how you tell stories. Storytelling is one of the most natural forms of communication, and when you master it in English, you sound confident, engaging, and even native-like. Let me begin by saying this. Stories are everywhere. When you talk about your weekend, that is a story. When you explain what happened at work, that is a story. When you give a presentation, you are telling a story. So, learning to tell stories well is not just for writers or public speakers. It is for everyone who wants to communicate effectively. Now, let's look at the structure of a story. Most stories follow a simple pattern. Beginning. You introduce the situation, the people, and the setting. Middle, something happens. There is a problem, a challenge, or a change. End, the problem is solved. Or the situation comes to a conclusion. This pattern beginning, middle, end is the foundation of storytelling. Even short, everyday stories follow it. Let's practice with a simple example. Listen and then repeat after me. Last weekend, I went to the park with my friends. Suddenly, it started raining heavily, and we all got wet. In the end, we laughed about it and had a great time. Do you see the structure? The beginning, last weekend. I went to the park with my friends. The middle, it started raining heavily, and we all got wet. The end, we laughed about it and had a great time. This is a small story, but it has a complete structure. Now, let's focus on useful phrases for storytelling. Native speakers use certain expressions to make their stories smooth and interesting. Repeat after me. One day, suddenly, all of a sudden, at first, in the end. To my surprise, you won't believe what happened. These are like signposts that guide the listener through your story. Let's practice with them in short sentences. One day, I met someone who changed my life. Suddenly, the lights went out. All of a sudden, everyone started clapping. At first, I didn't like the city, but later I fell in love with it. In the end, everything worked out well. To my surprise, he spoke perfect English. You won't believe what happened on my way home. Great! These expressions will make your storytelling sound natural and engaging. Now let's talk about details. Good storytellers know how to add just enough detail to bring a story to life, but not too much. For example, instead of saying, I went to the store and bought food, you could say, I went to the small grocery store near my apartment and bought some fresh fruit, bread, and a bottle of juice. The second version is more vivid. It helps the listener imagine the scene. Let's practice expanding a simple story. Repeat after me. Simple. I saw a movie yesterday. Expanded. I saw a movie yesterday at the old theater downtown. The atmosphere was exciting, and the film was full of action. Another example. Simple. I had dinner with my family. Expanded. I had dinner with my family last night. We cooked pasta together, shared stories about our day, and laughed a lot. Excellent! Adding small, specific details makes your English more advanced and more enjoyable to listen to. Now, let's practice telling a slightly longer story together. Listen first, then repeat line by line. Last summer, I traveled to New York City for the first time. At first, I felt nervous because the city was so big and busy. One day, while walking through Central Park, I got lost. Suddenly, it started to rain, and I had no umbrella. To my surprise, a kind stranger offered me his umbrella and showed me the way. In the end, what could have been a stressful day became one of the most memorable experiences of my trip. This short story is easy, but it uses advanced storytelling tools, structure, details, and natural expressions. Now, let's shadow the story together more quickly. Last summer, I traveled to New York City for the first time. At first, I felt nervous because the city was so big and busy. One day, while walking through Central Park, I got lost. Suddenly, it started to rain, and I had no umbrella. To my surprise, a kind stranger offered me his umbrella and showed me the way. In the end, what could have been a stressful day became one of the most memorable experiences of my trip. Well done! Practicing like this trains your listening, speaking, and memory at the same time. Now, let's go deeper. Advanced storytelling also uses emotions. Don't just say what happened, say how you felt. For example, I was so embarrassed when I forgot my lines during the presentation. I felt relieved when I finally finished my exams. I was thrilled when I heard the good news. Repeat after me. I was so embarrassed when I forgot my lines during the presentation. I felt relieved when I finally finished my exams. I was thrilled when I heard the good news. See how emotions make the story more personal? People connect with feelings. If you share how you felt, your story becomes much more powerful. Finally, let's practice a storytelling exercise for fluency. I will give you a short story frame. You can fill in your own details later. But for now, repeat with me. Yesterday, I decided to do something different. At first, I wasn't sure what to expect, but I wanted to try. Then, something unexpected happened that completely changed my experience. In the end, I learned something new about myself. This is a flexible template. You can adapt it to your own life. Try it as homework. Think of a real situation, put it into this structure, and tell it aloud in English. To summarize, storytelling helps you organize your thoughts clearly, use advanced expressions naturally, add details and emotions for impact, sound more fluent and engaging in any situation. So, don't just practice grammar drills. Practice telling stories. Practice sharing experiences. That is how you move closer to speaking like a native. Stay with me, because we are going to keep building your fluency step by step. English today is not only the language of daily conversation, it is the language of business, science, and global cooperation. If you want to advance your career, connect with international colleagues, or work abroad, you need professional English. But don't worry, professional English does not mean using complicated words or sounding robotic. It means speaking clearly, confidently, and politely. In this part, I will guide you through useful phrases, strategies, and practice exercises that will help you succeed in professional settings. Let's begin with introductions in the workplace. When you meet someone in a business context, you want to sound confident and friendly. Repeat after me. Hello, my name is Lauren, and I'm an English teacher based in the United States. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm looking forward to working with you. These are polite, professional introductions. Notice the structure, name, role, and a friendly phrase. Now let's try another. Good morning. My name is Sarah, and I work in marketing. It's great to connect with you. Simple, clear, professional. Next, let's look at common workplace phrases. Repeat with me. Let's get started with today's meeting. Could you clarify that point? Let's focus on the main issue. I appreciate your input. Let's schedule a follow-up. These are phrases you will hear often in professional English. Now let's practice them in short sentences. Let's get started with today's meeting. Could you clarify that point about the budget? I appreciate your input on this project. Let's schedule a follow-up next week. Great. Now let's move on to email and formal communication. In professional English, emails are very important. Here are useful phrases. At your earliest convenience. Thank you for your prompt response. Please find attached the report. I look forward to your feedback. Best regards. Now repeat after me. At your earliest convenience. Thank you for your prompt response. Please find attached the report. I look forward to your feedback. Best regards. Excellent! Even if you are speaking, some of these phrases are also used in meetings or phone calls. Next, let's look at polite requests. In business, politeness is key. Instead of saying, "Send me the report," you should say, "Could you please send me the report? Would you mind sharing the details? I'd appreciate it if you could send me the file." Repeat with me. Could you please send me the report? Would you mind sharing the details? I'd appreciate it if you could send me the file. This is how you sound professional, respectful, and cooperative. Now, let's talk about meetings and presentations. When you lead a meeting, you often need to introduce topics, ask for opinions, and summarize results. Repeat these useful phrases. Today, we're here to discuss. I'd like to highlight 3 key points. Let's hear your thoughts on this issue. To summarize, our next steps are now in sentences. Today, we're here to discuss the marketing strategy. I'd like to highlight 3 key points from the report. Let's hear your thoughts on this issue before we decide. To summarize, our next steps are clear, very professional. Now let's practice telephone and online meeting language. In many jobs, you need to speak on the phone or in virtual meetings. Repeat with me. Can you hear me clearly? Let me share my screen. Could you please repeat that? Let's move on to the next point. Now in sentences. Good afternoon. Can you hear me clearly? Let me share my screen so you can see the presentation. Could you please repeat that last part? Let's move on to the next point on the agenda. Perfect. Next, let's look at small talk in professional English. Before or after meetings, people often talk casually. This builds relationships. Repeat with me. How was your weekend? The weather has been nice lately. Have you traveled anywhere recently? It's great to finally meet you in person. Now in short sentences, how was your weekend? Did you do anything fun? The weather has been nice lately, perfect for outdoor activities. Have you traveled anywhere recently for work or vacation? It's great to finally meet you in person after so many emails. This is professional small talk. It's friendly, but still respectful. Now let's practice a short professional dialogue in monologue style. Listen first, then repeat line by line. Good morning, everyone. Let's get started with today's meeting. First, I'd like to highlight 3 key points from the report. Second, I'd appreciate your feedback on the new proposal. Finally, let's schedule a follow-up meeting for next week. Thank you all for your input and cooperation. Now shadow it again smoothly. Good morning, everyone. Let's get started with today's meeting. First, I'd like to highlight 3 key points from the report. Second, I'd appreciate your feedback on the new proposal. Finally, let's schedule a follow-up meeting for next week. Thank you all for your input and cooperation. Excellent. That sounds professional, fluent, and natural. Now, let's add tone and confidence. In professional English, how you say something is as important as the words themselves. Speak clearly, not too fast, and with confidence. For example, instead of, maybe we should, start the meeting, say, let's get started with today's meeting. Confidence comes from practice. The more you use these phrases, the more natural they will feel. Before we close this section, let's review. Professional English requires clear introductions, polite requests, effective meeting and presentation language, formal communication for emails and messages, confident tone and respectful small talk. Practice these phrases often. Use them in your real work. Try to imagine professional situations and role-play them out loud. That way, when the real moment comes, you will be ready. Remember, fluency is not about perfection. It's about confidence, clarity, and connection. And in professional English, those 3 things will help you succeed anywhere in the world. Stay with me, because we are still building your advanced listening and speaking skills. When you think of English, maybe you imagine the American accent from movies or the British accent from TV shows. But in reality, English is a global language. It is spoken by people in India, Singapore, Nigeria, Australia, Canada, the Philippines, and many other countries. Each place has its own accent, rhythm, and style. If you want to speak English fluently in today's world, you need to listen to and understand different accents. This is an advanced skill, but it's also very practical. Let's start with a simple truth. There is no single correct English accent. English belongs to the world. The most important thing is clear communication. Once you understand this, you can open your ears and adapt to many accents without fear. Now, Let's explore some key differences in accents. In American English, the R sound is very strong. For example, K, teacher, computer. Repeat with me. K, teacher, computer. In British English, the R at the end is often softer or not pronounced. For example, car, teacher, computer. Repeat with me. Car, teacher, computer. Both are correct. Both are English. Now let's look at vowel differences. In American English, can't is often pronounced Kent. In British English, it's can't. Repeat. I can't do it. American. Repeat. I can't do it. British. Both versions are fine. Another example. In American English, schedule is often pronounced schedule. In British English, it's schedule. Repeat. Schedule. Repeat. Schedule. Good. These variations are normal and natural. Now, let's move beyond American and British English. In Indian English, you may hear clearer, sharper vowel sounds. For example, please pass me the pen might sound slightly different in rhythm, but the meaning is the same. In Australian English, some vowel sounds are very distinct. Day can sound like die. Mate can sound like mate. In Singaporean English, you may hear short, clipped endings, and sometimes an added word like la or ah for emphasis. For example, it's okay. La. The key is not to judge these accents, but to get used to them. Now let's practice active listening. When you hear an unfamiliar accent, focus on keywords. Don't worry about every single word. Use context to understand the meaning. For example, if someone says, I think this project is very important, maybe the pronunciation of think sounds like tink, but you still understand. I think this project is very important. Repeat. I think this project is very important. Good. That's active listening. Let's do another example. If someone says in a strong Australian accent, it's a beautiful day today, mate. You know that die is day. You know mate means friend. The sentence is, it's a beautiful day today, friend. Repeat. It's a beautiful day today, mate. Excellent. Now let's talk about strategies to improve your listening across accents. First, expose yourself to variety. Don't only listen to American podcasts or British dramas. Listen to news from different countries, international interviews, and YouTube videos from around the world. Second, shadow different accents. Even if you don't want to speak with that accent, shadowing helps your brain adjust. For example, repeat a short Australian clip or an Indian English podcast. This improves your listening flexibility. Third, be patient. At first, new accents feel strange, but with time, your brain adapts. The more accents you hear, the faster you understand them. Now let's practice with global phrases. I'll say them in a clear, standard accent. Repeat after me. But imagine you might hear them in different ways. How are you doing today? Could you repeat that? Please. Where can I find the train station? What time does the meeting start? Can you help me with this problem? Now imagine. Sometimes today might sound like today. Sometimes station might sound like station. That's okay. You can still understand. Let's practice a short listening shadow story. Yesterday, I had a meeting with colleagues from 3 countries. At first, it was a little difficult to understand their different accents. One person spoke very quickly, another used unfamiliar phrases, and another had a strong accent. But after a few minutes, I realized I could follow the main ideas. In the end, the meeting was successful, and I learned that English is truly a global language. Now repeat line by line. Yesterday, I had a meeting with colleagues from 3 countries. At first, it was a little difficult to understand their different accents. One person spoke very quickly, another used unfamiliar phrases, and another had a strong accent. But after a few minutes, I realized I could follow the main ideas. In the end, the meeting was successful, and I learned that English is truly a global language. Excellent! That's exactly what happens in real life. Finally, let me remind you, fluency is not only about sounding like a native speaker, it's about connecting with people worldwide. Every accent is part of English. Every voice matters. So don't limit yourself to just one style of English. Train your ears, practice patience, and embrace English as a global tool for communication. If you stay consistent with this practice, you will find yourself understanding anyone, anywhere, no matter their accent. Keep going. You're doing amazing. One of the biggest steps toward fluency is learning to think in English. Right now, maybe you listen to English, then translate it into your own language in your head. Then you think of an answer in your own language and translate it back into English. This process is slow, stressful, and unnatural. To speak fluently, you must reduce translation. The goal is to hear English, think in English, and answer in English just like native speakers do. So, how do we train the mind to think in English? Let's go step by step. First, let's start with simple thoughts. Instead of thinking in your native language and translating, try to form very small sentences in English in your head. For example, I am hungry. It is raining. I need coffee. Repeat with me. I am hungry. It is raining. I need coffee. These are simple, but they train your brain to use English directly. Next, let's practice describing what you see. Look around you right now. For example, if you see a chair, say, "This is a chair." If you see a book, say, "There is a book on the table." If you see your phone, say, "My phone is on the desk." Let's practice. This is a chair. There is a book on the table. My phone is on the desk. This is powerful. It connects English with your environment. Now, let's practice inner speech. Throughout the day, try to talk to yourself in English. For example, what time is it? I have a meeting soon. I should go to the store later. Repeat with me. What time is it? I have a meeting soon. I should go to the store later. This trains you to live in English, not just study it. Next, let's move to advanced thinking patterns. Instead of short phrases, you can start creating longer thoughts in English. For example, today has been a long day, but I feel proud of what I accomplished. I need to focus more on my priorities if I want to finish everything on time. I wonder what I will learn if I keep practicing like this every day. Repeat line by line. Today has been a long day, but I feel proud of what I accomplished. I need to focus more on my priorities if I want to finish everything on time. I wonder what I will learn if I keep practicing like this every day. Excellent. Now, let's practice a technique called narrating your actions. As you do something, describe it in English in your head. For example, I am opening the door. I am cooking dinner. I am writing an email. This connects English with daily life. Try it with me. I am opening the door. I am cooking dinner. I am writing an email. Perfect. Another powerful technique is visualization in English. Imagine a situation like going to the airport, ordering at a restaurant, or giving a presentation. In your mind, play the scene in English. For example, at the restaurant, I say, "Excuse me, could I see the menu? Please." When the waiter asks, I say, "I'd like a salad and a glass of water." At the end, I say, "Thank you very much. It was delicious." Repeat with me. "Excuse me, could I see the menu? Please. I'd like a salad and a glass of water. Thank you very much. It was delicious." Visualization helps you prepare for real-life situations. Now, let's address a common problem: fear of mistakes. Many learners translate because they are afraid of making errors. But remember, mistakes are part of fluency. Even native speakers make mistakes and correct themselves. So, do not stop yourself. Think in English. Speak in English, even if it is not perfect. To build this confidence, let's practice automatic responses. I'll say a phrase, and you answer quickly in English. Ready? How are you? I'm fine. Thanks. How about you? What's your name? My name is. Where are you from? I'm from. What do you do? I'm a student, or I work as a teacher. Let's repeat quickly. I'm fine. Thanks. How about you? My name is. I'm from. I'm a student. I work as a teacher. These automatic answers reduce the need to translate. Now let's practice a shadowing paragraph for thinking in English. Listen first, then repeat after me. Fluent speakers don't translate in their heads. They hear English, understand it directly, and respond naturally. Thinking in English takes time, but with daily practice, it becomes easier. Every thought you create in English brings you closer to fluency. Now repeat line by line. Fluent speakers don't translate in their heads. They hear English, understand it directly, and respond naturally. Thinking in English takes time, but with daily practice, it becomes easier. Every thought you create in English brings you closer to fluency. Excellent! Let's finish this part with a daily practice challenge. For the next 24 hours, try to create at least 10 small sentences in English in your head about your day. For example, I'm getting dressed. I'm waiting for the bus. I'm feeling tired. I'm excited to learn. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. To summarize, thinking in English requires small daily sentences, describing what you see, talking to yourself in English, narrating your actions, visualizing real situations, building confidence by not fearing mistakes. The goal is not perfection. The goal is progress, training your mind to live in English. And once you do, fluency becomes natural. Stay with me, because this journey is transforming the way you learn and use English. One of the secrets of sounding fluent in English is not only the words you use, but also how you say them. English has a very specific rhythm. Some words are stressed, others are weak. Sentences rise and fall in pitch. This is called intonation. Together, rhythm, stress, and intonation make your speech sound alive, natural, and expressive. Let's begin with word stress. In English, most words have one syllable that is stressed more than the others. For example, table. Stress is on the first syllable. Computer. Stress is on the second syllable. Information. Stress is on the third syllable. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. Table. Computer. Information. Excellent! Notice how one syllable is louder, longer, and clearer. That's stress. Without correct stress, words sound strange to native speakers. Now let's move to sentence stress. In an English sentence, we don't stress every word equally. We stress the important words, usually nouns, main verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. Function words like a, the, is, of, or to are usually weak. For example, I want to go to the store. Here, the stressed words are want, go, store. The weak words are to, the. Repeat after me. I want to go to the store. Again, I want to go to the store. Notice the rhythm. Strong, weak, strong, weak, strong. This is the heartbeat of English. Now let's practice with another sentence. She is reading a book in the library. The stressed words are reading, book, library. The weak words are she, is, a, in, the. Repeat with me. She is reading a book in the library. Again. She is reading a book in the library. Great. You are starting to feel the rhythm. Next, let's focus on intonation. Intonation is the rise and fall of your voice. It shows emotion, meaning, and attitude. For example, in English, questions often rise at the end. Statements usually fall. Example statement. It is raining today. Falling intonation. Repeat. It is raining today. Example yes no question. Is it raining today? Rising intonation. Repeat. Is it raining today? Example information question. What time is it? Falling intonation at the end. Repeat. What time is it? Intonation also shows emotion. For example, that's amazing. Rising. Excited. That's amazing. Falling. Calm. Maybe sarcastic. Repeat both. That's amazing. That's amazing. Do you hear the difference? That's the power of intonation. Now let's combine stress and intonation in natural sentences. Repeat after me. I can't believe how beautiful this place is. One more time. I can't believe how beautiful this place is. Another example. If you keep practicing, your English will improve fast. Repeat. If you keep practicing, your English will improve fast. Notice the rhythm, the strong beats, and the melody of the sentence. Now let's do a shadowing practice paragraph. Listen first, then repeat after me. English has rhythm. Some words are strong, some are weak. Sentences rise and fall like music. When you stress the right words and use natural intonation, your English becomes clear, expressive, and powerful. Now, repeat line by line. English has rhythm. Some words are strong, some are weak. Sentences rise and fall like music. When you stress the right words and use natural intonation, your English becomes clear, expressive, and powerful. Excellent! Now let's practice with a mini story. I will read it with natural rhythm and intonation. Listen, then repeat after me, sentence by sentence. Yesterday, I went to the park. I saw children playing football. They were laughing, running, and shouting. The weather was sunny, and the air felt fresh. It was a beautiful afternoon. Now your turn. Repeat each line. Yesterday, I went to the park. I saw children playing football. They were laughing, running, and shouting. The weather was sunny, and the air felt fresh. It was a beautiful afternoon. Did you notice the rising and falling melody? That is what makes the story engaging. Another tip: don't speak too flat. Many learners use the same pitch for every word, and it sounds robotic. Instead, think of English as a song. Stress some words. Lower your voice at the end of statements. Raise your voice in questions. And play with emotion. Let's practice contrasts. Repeat after me. I really like it. Falling. Certain. I really like it. Rising. Questioning. I really like it. Excited. Rising. Same words, but different intonation gives different meaning. Now let's do a challenge practice. I will give you 3 sentences. Your job is to repeat them with natural stress and intonation. Ready? I'm looking forward to meeting you tomorrow. Could you help me with this problem? That was one of the best experiences of my life. Repeat each one carefully. Feel the rhythm. Use the melody. Finally, let's practice expressive reading. I will read a short motivational message. Repeat after me, line by line, with strong rhythm and natural intonation. Learning English takes time and effort, but every word you speak brings you closer to fluency. Your voice matters. Your story matters. And with practice, you will speak with confidence. Beautiful. Remember, rhythm, stress, and intonation are not decorations. They are the heart of English communication. They make your speech alive. Practice daily, read aloud, shadow native speakers, record yourself, and compare slowly. Your speech will transform. We've reached the final part of this 1-hour advanced English listening journey. Take a moment to feel proud of yourself. You have listened, practiced, repeated, and spoken with me for a long time. That is a huge achievement. Many learners give up after just a few minutes, but you have stayed with me. That shows real commitment and discipline. Now, Before we finish, let's go through a final review practice together. This will combine everything we learned: listening, shadowing, rhythm, stress, intonation, advanced vocabulary, and thinking in English. First, let's do a motivation paragraph shadowing exercise. Listen first, then repeat after me, line by line. You are capable of more than you think. Every day you practice English, you grow stronger. Fluency is not magic. It is the result of consistent effort. Your voice matters, and your English can open new doors. Stay patient, stay focused, and keep moving forward. Excellent! That is the mindset of a fluent English speaker. Now let's do a real-life situation practice. Imagine you are at a job interview. Repeat these sentences after me with confidence. Thank you for inviting me today. I'm excited to share my experience with you. I believe I can contribute positively to this company. I'm always eager to learn new skills and grow professionally. Great work! Do you hear the confidence in your voice? That is the power of practice. Now let's shift to a casual conversation practice. Repeat after me with natural intonation. Hey, how have you been? I've been busy, but I'm doing well. It's great to see you again. Let's catch up over coffee sometime. Perfect. You sound more natural, more fluent, and more expressive. Next, let's practice thinking in English with a quick drill. I'll give you a situation, and you respond quickly in English. You're at a restaurant. Could I have the menu, please? You're asking for help. Excuse me. Could you help me? You're meeting someone. Nice to meet you. You're leaving. It was great talking to you. See you soon. Now repeat each one confidently. Beautiful. These automatic responses make fluency faster and easier. Let's do one more advanced shadowing passage for fluency. Fluency comes from practice, patience, and persistence. Every sentence you repeat strengthens your confidence. Every mistake you make teaches you something valuable. English is not just a subject to study, it is a tool for connection. With English, you can learn from the world, share your story, and create new opportunities. Now repeat line by line. Fluency comes from practice, patience, and persistence. Every sentence you repeat strengthens your confidence. Every mistake you make teaches you something valuable. English is not just a subject to study, it is a tool for connection. With English, you can learn from the world, share your story, and create new opportunities. Excellent. That was powerful. Now, let's wrap everything up. In this lesson, you practiced advanced listening skills, shadowing and repetition, common expressions and natural sentences, thinking in English instead of translating, using rhythm, stress, and intonation for natural speech, real-life practice for interviews, conversations, and daily situations. You have trained like an advanced learner, but in a way that even beginners can follow. This is the secret: practice, patience, and daily consistency. Remember, fluency is not about speed, it's about connection. When you speak with clarity, rhythm, and confidence, people will listen to you. So here is my challenge for you. Keep practicing every day. Choose one exercise from today's lesson: shadowing, narrating your actions, or practicing intonation, and do it for just 10 minutes daily. Over time, you will see transformation. And finally, let's end with a closing motivation message. Repeat after me, line by line. I can speak English fluently. My English improves every day. I am confident, clear, and strong in my voice. I use English to connect with the world. I am proud of my progress, and I will keep going. Yes, that is the spirit. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Lauren, and this is Learnify English. If you enjoyed this lesson, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. Tell me, Which part of today's practice was the most helpful for you? Your feedback is very important. It helps me create more lessons that meet your needs. Keep practicing, stay motivated, and remember, you are closer to fluency than you think. I'll see you in the next lesson. Until then, keep learning, keep practicing, and keep believing in yourself.